Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Todd with Rec Media, here to bring you a brand new series called At the Park, where we interview different people in different careers about how they got to where they are in their careers and a multitude of topics, starting from pop culture, sports, anything. Our first guest is Terry Jones, a comedian out of Pittsburgh. I hope you enjoy the show. When did you start doing comedy? When did you get into it?
I started comedy when I was 18.
Okay.
So I had just got out of high school at Penn Hills High School. Because he's Woodland Hills.
W.
For those that don't know,
Double O.
it was a huge rivalry.
It still is. I think it is. I don't know.
I don't know. I know.
Y'all just won states.
Big.
Congratulations, Penn Hills just won states. So congrats.
I can't. Well, thank you to those kids.
Yeah. Hey,
on
man.
behalf of the Penn Hillians.
Y'all need it, man. Y'all need it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I started.
Woody High ain't got none. Sorry to cut you off. Woody High.
Y'all went ham though.
They definitely
went ham for many years.
Yeah.
But I was 18. I came right out of high school and I wanted to do stand up. So when I was about 15, 16, I was going through some like issues, just with like kids and stuff, and like bullying and like all that weird stuff. So I was listening to like NERD. Their first album, In Search Of, that's Pharrell's band. And my dad bought this box set of all Richard Pryor's albums. And I burned them onto an MP3 CD. That's how long ago it was. And they had MP3 CD players, and you could listen to, like, you thought it was cool, you could listen to 100 tracks on a CD. You know what I mean? Because before it was like 16 to 18 tracks, depending on how many you could burn. And I listened to all the albums. And I was just like, yo, I just had this, like, epiphany. I was just like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And my aunt was a stand-up comic.
Okay.
My aunt Cookie. She's really good. And after I heard Pryor, I just kept saying I'm going to do it. And my boy was like, no, you ain't going to do it. So he dared me to go down. Once I was 18, I could do it. Because, like, in Pittsburgh, you couldn't just be 15 and 16 trying to stand up.
Yeah.
New York, Chicago, L.A., you could get away with it. But Pittsburgh, not really. Okay. So it was to the point where I was under 21 doing these shows, and people thought I was funny. And I had to like lie and be like, you know, like if the cops came in, they was like, yo, you're the dishwasher. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they liked me that much, but they was just letting me know like, yo, because you had to be 21 to be in a lot of these establishments, unless it was like the comedy club where you could be 18 or certain venues.
Yeah. There you go. Punish you.
Yo. All right, sorry about that. We had a moment. Look, I saw his eyes. He was just sitting there staring. He didn't even say like, "Yo, you need to get that." He was just showing me with his eyes like that's. Now we got hornets coming. Yeah. But no, it was real cool, man. I didn't really have much material because when you're 18, you don't really got much to talk about. Only thing you could talk about is like porn and touching yourself and like maybe girlfriends and. You know, all my references was too young for the audiences
to relate with. Yeah.
So it was like hard when I would make the references, they wouldn't get it. And then as I got older, I just kept going and finding ways to be funny about just life and not just like, you know, references. And it kind of broke that age gap. Yeah. Because I had to do so many shows for like, a lot of times it was like middle-aged white people. Yeah. And a lot of black comics don't really do that. So I kind of started backwards because usually black comics start in the black rooms and then they got to try and find a way to work the other rooms, and I was already winning over those rooms, and then it was the black rooms I had to win over because that was always the difficult anyway, because it was like, oh, you ain't black enough. Then I had to find ways to just like go in and be like, yo, y'all ain't gonna tell me what's black. I know it's black. I know I'm black. But y'all ain't gonna sit here and, you know, tell me what I need to be saying. And once I learned how to hone it, it just became, you know.
How long? So you've been about 10 years in comedy?
Stand-up? Yeah, I've been doing stand-up for, no, it's been more than 10 years. It was like 14?
14?
It's like 14 now, 13, 14. Because me and a good friend of mine, T-Rogue, who toured with Chappelle and Cat Williams and Gary Owen, and we have a web series coming out together called Light Up and Laugh. And we were just talking about, like, because he started, like, I want to say maybe like 4 years before me. Okay. So when I started, him and Bill Crawford, another good friend of mine that's on WDV.
Okay.
They were already like established, so it was like they were like the big brothers to us, and we were like new, and they were like helping us with gigs and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, man. It's just the thing with this business is it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like it takes like
I would say any business, anything you're trying to be successful at, nobody becomes an overnight celebrity. Nobody becomes an overnight success at all.
no,
Like,
so you can, but it don't mean you're gonna have longevity.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, how many Instagram comedians and stuff or people have we seen come and go?
Yeah.
And then they're mad at the success of these other guys. Like, I put you on, and it's like, you made it possible. I'm sorry, I wish you got that on camera. He got but he went up for a layup, and it looked like a ghost power bomb. But like on the curb, he's like, you know how on Street Fighter when they lose, they do the it's like there's like a bounce. Like,
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, I've been doing. If you want to be successful at anything, it usually takes 10 years to perfect anything. So if you want to be a doctor, right? How many years you got to go to school? About 10.
About 10.
If you want to be a lawyer,
7.
yeah, it's like 7, 8. For real.
Yeah.
You gotta get 2 more years experience while being a lawyer. Then you hit that 10-year mark. You know, you start driving for 10 years. You know how to avoid accidents more and stuff.
Yeah.
There's just reflexes that you build after doing it so much.
True.
So it's just really interesting because I've had so many great opportunities where I've been like way up here. And then I always tell people, my lesson that I learned, and I hope people learn it through me explaining my mistakes, is that I was never humble enough for the opportunities I was blessed with.
Gotcha.
So what happens is you have to realize that your ego is less important than being grateful of whatever you have. So, for example, if I'm like, okay, you got a great job. You make $100,000 a year, and then you're killing it. And then you forget to be thankful of it, and you just take it for granted. It's going to get taken away from you. The universe is going to take it.
Yeah.
So I remember I was 21, opening for someone real big. They tried to get me signed. A person they tried to get me signed with was Michael Jackson's old manager. Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. I'm talking ish. I was, had my old girlfriend at the time. I was talking ish. I'm the man. God was like, nope, you don't know how to act when I give it to you. So yoink. Then I had to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild.
Yeah.
Then I rebuilt to another great opportunity. Start pushing. Was writing, grinding it out, building off these shows. Things started looking out. I was doing really good for a few years because I was at least staying humble and happy about it. And blessed. Soon as more stuff started happening, other stuff too much stuff started happening too quick.
Yeah.
Got on TV and stuff. God was like, yoink. You know what? You don't know how to act when I give it to you, so I'll holler at you in a few more years.
Yeah.
And then I did a lot of impressions.
Yeah.
So that's what helped me.
I heard your Eddie Murphy impression on Limbo Negro.
Well, just so lovely every time. You know what? Every time I come here, I just see everything. It's just so lovely. No, I love Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's a man, dog. Like,
I like how he be talking. He be like, you know what? Wait. The people and the dogs was just sitting there, and then everything just got crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
I remember watching Delirious. Was that his first one? Or,
Yeah. Delirious is his first special. His HBO special.
Delirious was so funny, man. Like, I didn't realize how funny that. Like, I knew Eddie Murphy was hilarious. I watched The Nutty Professor and all that. But when I went back and watched his stuff, then I was like, oh man, like.
Bro, he was so raw.
Raw, bro.
And he was only 22 when he made that special. So he was 18 on SNL, like 19 on 48 Hours.
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
He got an old ass face.
Yeah, he did. That's the thing. Eddie Murphy always just like, that's how black people are. We'll look like this until we're 65 and then we wake up Morgan Freeman. Like, it just is what it is.
Wait, hold up. So how old do you think Morgan Freeman is right now?
Yo, Morgan Freeman is definitely 1,200 years old.
1,200?
There's no way. Like, you ain't convincing me that he's anything younger than 1,200.
You say he walked with Jesus?
No, bruh, he was BC. My man was down there with Moses going through the desert.
That's crazy.
And Andy Dufresne. Just Mr. Sam's. We're going with the Jesus.
Yo. Lean on Me. Not to get off of Eddie Murphy, but Lean on Me, bro. When he was talking to Sam, he's like, "You smoke crack, don't you?"
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah.
Me and my homies used to talk about that part all the time. I don't know. It's random as hell.
It's the greatest scene ever in the movie, and he's pointing at him, and he's like, "Go on, boy, jump."
Yeah, he's like, "Don't do it. Do it expeditiously. Don't kill yourself slowly. Go ahead and jump off. Jump."
Right? You'll be dead in the year anyway, boy. And then he's like, "They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they call me Batman."
Yeah, that's my
Pulled up the
part
bat.
too.
It's Eddie was a big influence on me, man. Eddie is probably my favorite comedian outside of Richard Pryor. Like, for real. I mean, Bill Cosby is too, but
Yeah, I know.
we can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a touchy subject now because of what happened. It's like I'll never forget what he did for the culture and
Bro, big
for black comedy, for black acting. And
I was about to say that even for black acting and things like that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, here's the thing. There was a point in time where they called us Negro in the beginning of anything. So, like, to let you know, they'd be like, Negro singer Billie Holiday's coming.
Yeah.
Or Negro comic Dick Gregory will be here. They needed to warn the audience that a Negro was coming. And that's when Bill Cosby was so good and he changed it so much that they stopped putting Negro in front of black comedy. So it was just Dick Gregory, Flip Wilson, Red Fox. He changed everything. Like, he was on the cover of Life magazine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, back then, being on Time and Life magazine, like, that was huge. He was the man. Everyone hated him. Everyone. It didn't matter what race they was. I'm not talking about the fans and the people. I'm talking about the comics. They were so jealous of him.
Yeah.
And this dude just kept winning Grammys after Grammy. Like, it was like back to back to back to back. And then he went on hiatus for a little bit because I guess something happened. And now we're finding out that some of that might have been what he was, with the sexual misconduct allegations. But he went missing for a little bit from comedy and started like making weird music with Quincy Jones. And it's
that's part of the Quaaludes.
Yeah, right. It had to be. So it's, but those guys were like huge influences on me, and I love the history of comedy and the history of like Eddie Murphy. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know, like, a lot of those roles Eddie Murphy had was for Richard Pryor, but Richard Pryor was so coked up and drunk. Yeah, they was like, "Yo, we don't want to deal with him in the studio," so they gave him to. Then it was like Gregory Hines, and then maybe Billy D. Williams, and then Eddie Murphy just happened to fall into it, and thank God he did. I mean, Beverly Hills Cop wasn't for him; it was written for Sylvester Stallone. A lot of people don't know that. That's right. If you ever seen the movie Cobra is Stallone's version of Beverly Hills Cop. Okay. Of what he wanted it to be. And you look at that, and then you look at Beverly Hills Cop. Two completely different movies. Yeah. He's like, "You're the disease, I'm the cure." And he's like killing people. And then you have Eddie Murphy, who's, comedic, but a very good actor as well.
We had a question. If you could be a member of any sitcom family.
Sitcom family?
Yeah. What family would you be in?
Any sitcom family? Any of them?
Any.
That's a tough question. Because, everybody wanted to be a Huxtable at one time. Yeah. And I don't think I ever wanted to be a Huxtable. I think I wanted to live with Danny Tanner, for real. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Full House, like, it just seemed too lit over there. Like, either that or Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Because Uncle Phil was Uncle Phil was the man, and Aunt Viv was like real motherly.
Wait. The first Aunt Viv.
Dark skin Aunt Viv. Dark skin Aunt Viv.
Okay, all right.
It's like dark skin and light skin Lionel. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make the decision.
Dark skin Aunt Viv was tight.
Dark skin Aunt Viv was lit.
She was an activist and everything, man.
Yeah.
They brought in light skin Aunt Viv, and like, she didn't do nothing.
No, she was just there.
She was just there. She was just
to fill in the spot.
Like, you don't got no speaking lines? You don't speak?
Yeah, I just felt like that series, that family was cool. But Danny Tanner would always come in and comfort his kids. And the reason I say Danny Tanner is because, like, people are probably like, "Oh, like, what? Full House?" There's so many other families, and I know Uncle Jesse was there and Joey. It was cool seeing men actually be allowed to be sensitive. Yeah. Like, I mean, I understand the whole idea of, like, oh, well, black men... Let's like cut that out for a second and just think about the idea of men actually sitting down with their daughters and like talking with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as a dad with two little girls, it's like it just resonates. It resonates. It's very important because you do want to sit down with your kids and talk to them, but you know, a lot of times we grew up with these like hyper masculine men because they were forced into that hyper masculinity.
Yeah.
And I know I'm using a term that a lot of people don't like, but I just bring it up because when you look at it, like, for example, I love my dad. My dad's a great dude. His dad was hard boiled.
Yeah.
My granddad worked the steel mills, came up from Bessemer, Alabama, like the whole 9 yards, all that, right? You look at that, and then he has to raise 7 kids with my grandma. And my grandma was super young when she had them. You know, it's just we don't think about that. Like, our grandmothers was teenagers and stuff when they was having these kids.
Yeah.
And we don't look at it. We're just like, yo, like, we need to be giving them so much love because our grandmas was like 16, 17, 18. Even if they was like 21, they was having these kids and like living their whole life raising them.
Raising kids.
And so, you know, when I look at it, my granddad was always like working. And my dad was always working.
Yep.
And my dad knew how to be a great dad, but there's always something there that keeps us men from going the extra mile. Yeah. And then, like, once I was born, I was the youngest grandchild on that side. So for my granddad, everybody's like, "Oh, you lucky, you got granddad." When he went soft by the time you had him, he was all like all in love with you and stuff. And I'm like, that's great. Yeah. And you know, it's great seeing my dad with my daughters and my nieces because you are allowed to like kind of breathe a little bit and you know he's still badass, but it's just the idea that so many men are forced into this idea of you got to be so aggressive. Yeah. And we always had these hyper aggressive ass black dads. Like, look at Good Times. Like, he's throwing whole tables, bro. Like, he's throwing tables. His wife is like the worst human being on the planet. Like, Florida Evans is the worst mother in all of sitcom history.
All right. Why you say that?
Yo, all right. First of all, Will Smith's mom sent him to Bel Air. She sent him to a good life from Philly because he got in a fight and she got scared. Yeah. And she told him, "You move with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." Yeah. Cool. All right. I get it. Yo, Florida Evans was always complaining but didn't have to work a day. Like, she didn't have to do nothing. And this dude's coming home stressed. She ain't even got dinner cooked. Like, she's always complaining about stuff. And then she's trying to like talk them out of being like, you know, pro-black. Like, everything about it is crazy. So when you look at that kind of show, and then you got even George Jefferson. Like, he's, big dummy, you know. And then you got Red Fox doing the same thing. Oh, you big dummy, come on, son, we got to go down here. We got to go pick up some stuff. And it's like, yo, there's all these dads. They're hilarious, but they're so damn aggressive. They're all tough. And it keeps you feeling like you gotta keep being tough. Ultra tough. We already got characters with no names, like going around shooting people. You know what I mean? Oh, here comes the lone warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I feel like Danny Tanner and them was like so dope. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was. I had to break it down real quick.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna throw another one. If you could this event anything in the world, what would it be?
Invention? Yeah. If I could get rid of any invention on the planet, what would it be? Wow, that's a powerful question because there's so many things that are shake weights. If I could get rid of any, so far I'm thinking shake weights, bro. Shake weights is the most awkward thing in the world, man. Like,
I don't know what they thought.
And then people's moms was buying shake weights, and then you go over to their house and their mom's just sitting there like this, and I'm like, oh God. Like, I do not want to think about you doing that.
My boy was dating a shorty at the time, and she had a shake weight. And I remember I went over to his crib, and I looked at it, and I'm like, my man, tell me this ain't yours. Tell me this ain't your shake weight. And he was like, no, that ain't mine. All right, bro, just checking.
So, yeah.
So do you think there's many opportunities for, and let's keep it, for black comedians to come out of Pittsburgh? Because there's a lot of young black comedians coming out.
I would do a show one night in another state and have to drive to a whole nother state just to audition. Yeah. Like, these are things that I had to do. And I kept pushing and grinding out because I had to.
Were you working too? Did you work?
Yeah, I was working and I was going to college. Yeah. I was going to Duquesne University at the time. So I was trying to do everything. And that's the thing. You got to grind it out. So for these black comics, if you want to make it, do it. But have respect learn your history and learn comedy. And that's not just for the black comics, that's for any young comic.
Anybody. I said that's
but
for
black
anybody
comics,
in general,
it's a little
too.
It's a little harder because black comics isolate themselves and they were like, yo, I can only do these shows.
I can only
these
tailor
people and
to
hang
these.
out. No, get in every single show.
Look at Craig Robinson.
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite comedians, bro.
Craig is a beast. And that's how I got opportunities. People was like, yo, they used to be like, how'd you get that? How'd you get that? Yo, how'd you get Damon Wayans? Okay, let me tell you something. Damon Wayans' crowd ain't all black.
Yeah.
It's mixed. Dave Chappelle's crowd is mixed. Eddie Griffin's crowd is mixed.
Yep.
John Witherspoon's might be more black.
Yeah.
But I've worked with people like Donald Ross. These dudes don't have all black crowds.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be performing on these shows, you need to be able to be diverse and be funny and original. It's you know, if you really want to make it out of here, you can. But you eventually have to leave.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, grind it out. Don't just do
Make your home.
Yeah, don't just do one show a month or one show every 4 months, 6 months. And be like, oh, I'm the king of comedy. You can't do that. That's not how it works. Grind it out and work. Put in work. Network.
Yeah.
Get with people.
One thing I talk when you said network, man, you gotta network with the right people. You just can't network to network. Most people just trying to, it is anything. People just trying to network, but oh, I meant this. No, you gotta network with the right people, and then to surround yourself with the people that are in the same environment or trying to get to where you're trying to be at. Like you said, when you started with comedy, you surrounded yourself with comedians that had already been there and that you can learn from. When I do stuff, like when I'm doing my businesses, I surround myself with like my cousin who has this training business. He's did it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So he's already got 10 years of experience and things I don't know, but I can ask him questions to be able to get me to where I need to be. Yeah. So yeah, man, like I believe that. Definitely gotta
grind, be humble, and put the ego aside. Once you do that, you'll be successful, man. There's a lot of things I've been blessed with, and I've been blessed with, like, from articles to...
I'm sorry, they brought Kentucky Fried Chicken, brother. Yeah. They brought Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'm vegan. But, it's wild because they... you do gotta grind and figure it out. And, even like with the movies, the opportunity I've been in those and stuff like that, it's like, it's cool. You know what I mean? And I got that because I was in the right place at the right time with the right people and showing my talent, and I did Ghostbusters Live and that ended up in Bigfoot the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what?
Yeah, I did Ghostbusters Live as Winston, and then I ended up in Bigfoot the movie because they was like, yo, this dude's funny. Like Kurt, Pittsburgh dad, shout out to Kurt.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your baby. He was like, yo, this dude's funny. Like, you gotta check him out. And the director, Jared, had me come audition and they checked it out and it ended up being like a great scene in the movie. So it's like, you can get these opportunities even with like TV and the podcasting and radios. Right time, right place, and just being yourself. Yeah. So just stay true to yourself. You'll make it and grind it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be funny. You know what I'm saying? That's being funny ain't just enough. You can't be an asshole. You gotta be a good person. Okay? Stop being assholes out here and being like, yo, I'm funny as hell. Why ain't I getting booked? It's because you're an asshole. You're being a complete dick, and I hope you bleep some of this.
We'll bleep it out for fun. Well, hey, Terry, I think we'll end it there, man.
My man.
Hey, thank you for coming out.
Nah,
appreciate
man. Thanks for having me.
Definitely.
Listen, you ain't from Pittsburgh if you don't know this dude. I feel like that's just the truth. Like, everywhere I go, they're like, Todd. I thought I was, like, popular or cool. And then you go around Todd, and they're like, Todd. And I'm like, oh, you ain't gonna say hi to me? You just know
I'm just well-respected, man. Like you said, I'm a limbo Negro. I can be in all type of
That's a good thing, man. When you respect it, that's more important than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There be people I don't know sometimes. Like, Todd, I'll be like, oh, yeah, what's up, man? But, hey, man, good luck on everything you got coming up. God's blessing on that.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Afro
man.
Bebop.
Afro Bebop and
your comedy, your web series coming out.
Yep, Light Up and Laugh. It'll be out. It's going to be on Funny or Die. On there.
How can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, TJonesPOC, Facebook, TJonesPOC, YouTube, TJonesPOC, Twitter, TJonesPOC, and Funny or Die, Light Up and Laugh. We're doing, and we had Jerome Bettis, Mike Logan, Terry Cousins, Khalil came from Juice.
Okay.
Billy Gardell. We've had some great guests on there, so I'm excited for it to come out, and I hope you guys enjoy it too as we smoke stogies. Like Arnold. All right, y'all.